look at the time so I know whether to say good morning, friends, or good afternoon, friends. So I guess for now it's good afternoon, friends. And this is Steve. And always good to not know what you're going to say. But I've set up a healing field, so if you want to participate in the healing field in a particular way, just a couple things you can say. You can say that you choose to participate in the healing field, the observational healing field, and that you ask that your helpers and guides be pleasant within the field, and that you can ask to be placed in a field of protection while you do this work, and that if you choose to work with the Hathors who work with sound and vibration, you can state out loud that you choose to work with the Hathors. And so I would suggest you also just state, I connect to my deep self, and state that out loud, and then notice what happens, what you feel when you feel connected to your deep self. And then notice what you feel, what you're aware of when you state that you connect to your higher self. Does your head seem more on straight? More on straight. When you connect to your higher self. Just notice any difference between your deep self and your higher self. And then notice what happens when you state these words out loud. I ground myself to the healing center of the planet. And notice what happens when you say, I open myself to the healing power of the One. And what happens when you connect to the healing power of the Bastet, who has just entered this world of video. Just grab Bastet for a moment so you can say hi to all your fans out there in the internet. This is Bastet. This is my stepdaughter's cat, who just as long as it's not going to go on Facebook. Something like that. And I don't belong to Facebook anyway, so I can't put her on Facebook. None of the cats like Facebook. Probably. I don't know. There's so many cat videos on YouTube. I've seen a couple of them, but there's also prairie dog videos. So, I open myself to the healing power of the One. I choose to let go of anything not useful to me now. And I choose to work with the Hathors. This is going to be a day of downloading Steve, because I wrote a post first thing this morning just about energies that I was working with. And then I did a video on, I felt like the Mayan calendar was really useful today when I read it. And so then I did a video as part of a healing field about this red planetary moon day, about cleansing and water and flow and renewal and all those kind of good things. Challenge. In this field that we have setup, this world healing field that we have set up for the day. Just notice what you notice. Do your best not to judge anything that you feel, anything that you're aware of. Not judge, do your best. If you find yourself judging yourself in some way, just notice that. Don't judge yourself for judging yourself. Just notice like, oh, I'm judging myself. Just know it's okay if you go, oh, I'm feeling feelings that I don't like. Just notice that you're feeling feelings that you don't like. This is a time of cleansing. This is a 28-year cycle of cleansing. A major cycle of cleansing that completes on March 23rd of 2025. Just kind of pat yourself on the back, because there may not be others that do that for you. There may be some that just say, good job, keep it up, that's great. But if there aren't, gently pat yourself on the back and say, good job, you're still alive, you're still on the planet, you made it through the last 4.5 difficult years. You lived through a pandemic. And how many wars have you lived through based on when you were born? And if you were born a little bit earlier, maybe even more wars. And you've lived in a traumatized war zone because, everyone who's here has been through war after war after war after war. And wars are traumatic. And if you have released the energy of all that, then it's just an experience. But I would say the fact that we keep having more and more wars is possibly because we're not over it. We're not over the last one. We're not over the one we're in right now. It would be useful, and I just mentioned the book Attuned. I'll show it to you because I feel like this is the workbook for these times. I'm going to get his other book. I can't remember the name of that one, but it says Practicing Interdependence to Heal Our Trauma and Our World, Attuned by Thomas Hubel. Excellent book. I've studied this trauma process, releasing trauma. I've studied it. I've done a lot of it. And yet here we are, after 27 years and 5 months of cleansing, with 7 months of cleansing left to go. So if you're not finding it getting easier, if you're finding it getting easier, then write a comment. I mean, if you're finding it getting easier, it may be because you're watching these videos, or it may be because you're not watching this video. But if you're listening right now and you have a way of you working with these times, write it in the comment. I just find myself holding a higher level of vibration, which is my theoretical application. If I hold a higher vibration, all of this will clear faster. But I've found myself in somewhat of a period of struggle dealing with the energetics that I've been experiencing. And yeah, I'm an energy healer. So I've always felt a lot. I've always felt more than the people around me. I don't think that's true, so I'm going to correct that statement. I've always been more aware of what I've felt than the people around me. I think other people had a better ability to shut things down. I learned how to do that to some degree, but I was just always aware of how everybody around me felt and what was going on, and I could walk in the front door and scan the house and notice how my brothers were doing. and see if they felt safe or didn't feel safe. They usually didn't feel safe, but I want to continue to open up my awareness, because the more open I am to my awareness, the more opportunity I have to release the things that need to be released. Release the energies of the unresolved events of my life and the unresolved events of others' lives, because in my healing work, that's what I do. We go back to events that are unresolved, and the energies start coming off them, and I help the person be aware of and release those energies that they hadn't released up till then. And then afterwards, things change. It's a simple process. And if you want to know the process, you can watch my videos, which talk about this process, all 280 some of them. And you can also just get the book Attuned, which is step by step, just how to do it. It prepares you well, explains things well. No matter how well it prepares you, some of the things I find somewhat triggering, which is good, because if they're not said in a way that it's just like in your face, they're said in a way that like, oh, this is the truth, and can you handle the truth? And so far so good. I mean, you're still here, you're still watching videos, you're still working on it, so really, 2-hand pat, shoulder rub, release some of that shoulder fight or flight tension. Release some of that grief, a little bit more of that grief. And release a little bit more of that anchor. Learn how to do it. When you can release the fear and the grief and the anger, it's better. It's better. Doesn't mean that every day is going to feel like every day is beautiful in its own way. I mean, there are days where it's just like, wow, this day really sucks. Whatever. Then you go, oh, okay, I'm experiencing a day that I feel really sucks. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see if I can accept that. Let's see if it changes by accepting it. Let's just see what happens, because here we are, we're on the planet. If you believe in a soul, if you believe that you have a soul, that you are a being that has a spiritual aspect of itself, you are a being, you have a soul. That soul has a purpose. Then you have been living that purpose. And if you've gotten sidetracked at times, those sidetracks you learn from as well. But there's never been a greater time to heal than right now. There's never been more opportunities to kind of encourage you to let go, to encourage you to change, to encourage you to feel the things that you're feeling, and realize the majority of things you're feeling are unresolved experiences. We could say from the past, but if they're unresolved experiences, they're present. The experience may have been in the perceived past, but the experience is in the perceived present, especially when we're triggered and, oh, well, then they did this to me, and then this happened, blah, 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 and then we go, I choose to let these energies go and integrate every experience I've ever had to the best of my ability and come into the present moment where all life is. When I have space around me, when I'm not feeling exhausted from pulling myself in, it's just like, oh, it's too much. But when I let myself back out again, back out of that little closet that I crawled into to feel safe. If I let myself out and just go, no, I'm going to live in a larger world, and I'm going to bring safety to it. So the safety of the larger world is me. I am the safety. And we can each say that. The more of this old energy of trauma that we release, the safer we become to ourselves and to others. I am the safe place that I've been looking for. I am the one that's willing to release these energies of the past so I don't carry them into the future. These energies of unresolved experiences, even if, whether they're my own, whether they're my ancestors that have just come in through me and affected my perception of reality based on unresolved events from my ancestors. When I release my energetics of unresolved events, my ancestors' energetics of unresolved events, and I've got skills, then I can approach the collective unresolved events. Then I can participate in the healing field surrounding the planet, which is working with the collective release of disturbing energies. It's funny how my glasses just look so crooked today. I don't know. It might just be my ears crooked. And it might be that it doesn't look crooked to you. It's all perception. So right now, there's just a lot of energy that's coming out of the center of the chest. It's referred to sometimes as the thymus chakra. Sometimes it's referred to as the heart chakra. But just, I'm going to ask the Hators to help bring a vibration, a sound vibration through me that will help to release this. And then that's probably will be enough for this process right now. So here goes something. If you need to, you can listen to that a few times and make sure that you've got all of that cleared. And I guess I'm being suggested that I do one more thing. So when you feel like everything's pretty much cleared up from this healing event that you've participated in today, and you can hit the pause button and just wait until all that energy feels like it's resolved, and then you can click it again and work with these words with me. So I ask the higher self, the interdimensional being, and our soul group to assist all the souls that return to this event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained in the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity. And I would ask all those souls to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth. Open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies that we're going to bring into the earth at this time. And I ask that these new energies be brought in for the healing of the world. And I ask that these new energies be activated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. Okay, it's been beautiful healing with you today, and I hope this serves all of you very well. And of course, now let's go.